There's something so beautiful about a woman who has that swoopy bang that just falls just so. So Michelle is going to show us how we might be able to achieve this. I'm going to assume that this isn't for everyone, but for someone who has maybe a side part already and
yes,
and a good amount of hair at the front, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you want to make sure that it's going to suit your face shape for a side fringe or a side bang. Yeah. But I think what's important is that sometimes when we do style our own swoopy bangs at home, we don't really know what we're doing, or they don't last all day. They don't last all day. They look good in the morning and then they start to split or become oily. So it's about showing the best tips that I can give you on how to, you know, make them last all day.
And we're going to show this on Michelle.
Yes.
Because you only pick people who have your name.
Exactly. It's the only way to go.
Okay, so how do we start?
So the first thing I'm going to show is just a quick tip about how to blow dry them in the first place. I'm not going to blow dry. These are just Michelle's bangs as they were. Yeah. But when you are blow drying a side bang, you want to blow dry on a vertical like this, right? And depending on the thickness of your hair, you might over direct and blow dry like this.
Okay, what's that doing if you
And what this does is when I let go of it, it's going to create literally that swoop. Right. So as the brush leaves the hair, it's almost like a curling iron, right? Because it gets very hot. Yeah. And then as it leaves the hair, you want to actually let it leave the hair as if you are coaxing it to do what you want it to do. Okay. So that's your brush technique, and make sure the brush is not too big for the hair. So I chose my smaller brush because of the length. Right. Okay, so that's number one.
The longer the length, the bigger the brush.
Number two, I'm going to show something that a lot of people use just in their crown area or to get more volume elsewhere. Okay. This is a volumizing powder called Dust It from Osis. There's lots out there like it. And what you want to do is, instead of applying it in the crown where you want to have a lot more lift, you're actually going to disperse it just lightly in the fringe. So into the root area is where I normally start, and you just tap. Less is more. Okay. 100% less is more.
Does that leave any residue?
No, if you're doing it properly, honestly, it would not, because then you massage it right in, and you should be good to go. So it's really about doing the lightest dusting of it, and what this does is it absorbs oils, but it also creates a firmness in the root of that fringe, so it's not stuck to your forehead. Right. So this is going to allow you to not feel like you constantly have to be pulling it off your face or something all day.
Oh, that's a good tip.
The last thing that I do, and this is really crucial in my opinion, is taking that bit that you have all blow dried and putting a little bit of this into the ends of the hair as well. Okay. So you're only going to do a little bit.
And is that going to make it sit where you want it to sit?
It's going to make it last. That's the key. Right. So it could sit nice in the morning, but it's not going to last. So now in here, there's a little bit of grippiness and tangibility to this hair.
Is there anything other than the dust that you could use to have that same effect? Like, would dry shampoo do the same thing?
Not really, because you're really looking for grip, and that's what that product would give you.
You want grip.
Yes. And so the last thing before finishing it, I would do is put a little bit of a low shine product, so we want this to look more smooth too. That
just looks cool. I'd want to use that anyways. Cool. It looks like Play-Doh.
Yeah, it's actually a micro sponge. It's called Rough Rubber. Yeah, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to smooth this out a little bit. You don't want to use anything with a high shine. Yeah. You just want to have it just smooth the hair. If it has shine, it makes it look just a little bit more oily.
Yeah, that's true. And I do notice that when I've tried to do my own, if I put too much product in, first of all, it makes the hair too heavy. Yes. And second of all, it makes it look like a greasy mess.
Absolutely.
So that's not what you want. And you need something that will make it stick together but not have the shine.
Yes. And you don't want it to be completely matte either, because then it makes it look dull. Yes. So you want a low shine sort of product. Yeah. So after you've done that, this is the key to success. Okay. Is a little bit of teasing or back combing. So you have you're dusted in here a little bit. Yeah. A touch on the tips of the hair. Yep. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift it on an angle. You can do it this way as well, is fine. Okay. And you're just going to put, because it's very grippy in there, just a little bit of a cushion so that it lifts it off your face.
To give it a little bit more volume.
Yeah. Okay. So then, you're going to move or swoop it down. And you can use a tail comb for this. It does a really nice job.
So there's a lot involved in getting that swoop to stay and look perfectly.
Yeah, if you're going out, if this is a weekend event, or you want something that's actually going to
stay.
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff.
And lock it in.